Nearly every game in the Western Conference is a dogfight, and tonight is no exception as two of the most successful teams in the conference lock horns in a Central Division showdown. After firing a season-high 39 shots against the Coyotes and only having a point to show for it, the Blues are fuming and anxious to get back in the win column. The Colorado Avalanche are known for their high-flying offense, but it's their defense that's winning the games this season. So sit back and buckle your seatbelt. It's another benchmark for the Blues, and it starts now. It's the Blues and Avalanche from Scott Trade, and Blues Hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Avalanche off the face-off. Gabriel Landeskog on with Stastny and McKinnon. A shot to the line by Corey Sarge, just turned away by Halak. The Blues beginning with Schwartz, Tarasenko, and Berglund with Jackman and Shattenkirk on defense.
And right away we see an example of the puck handling skills in the offensive zone by this very young, talented Avalanche team. That's why you've got to be so sharp where your sticks are on the ice, making sure you break up as many small plays as you can.
Now the Blues at center ice. It is back as Steen and Oshie up front. That line was broken up for about half the game the other night against Phoenix in that overtime loss. And now Pietrangelo. They'll skip one in behind the Avalanche goal. J.S. Giguère is there. Now Steen gets it, but he lost it. And P.A. Parenteau, the former Islander, to center ice. On with Matthew Shane. And Ryan O'Reilly. Stolen. Now in front for O'Reilly. That's broken up by Steen. And he has it deep in his own zone. And the puck back on the boards. O'Reilly. For Duchesne. Looks out high for Nick Holden, who was signed as a free agent. Now back of the goal, Parenteau. Wrapped up by Bouwmeester. And then O'Reilly mishandles, and that's a break for the Blues.
And so Patrick Waugh uses their defensive tandem of Eric Johnson and Jan Hejda, and they will see, oh, that's going to go out of play. No, it doesn't. It stays in there. And they will see David Bax's line all night long.
And now it is broken up by Ian Cole. Cole for Sobotka. Out there with Stewart and Morrow, and a penalty coming up here as Sobotka was upended.
That's Max Talbot that came in the Steve Downey trade with the Philadelphia Flyers. He's going to go off. He just had that stick, just poked it around, and just enough to trip him up.
.25 Colorado, 2 minutes. Hook me.
Okay, call made by veteran referee Chris Rooney. Here's the stick right there. It should have come, well, hardly comes up there at all. And I think Sobotka is doing had the little happy feet, cutting back to his right a little bit right there. Lost his balance.
Blues power play third best in the league. Here's a shot by Oshie. He scores! It may have been tipped in by Backes, and it's 1-0.
Good quick shot, again off the face-off inside 10 seconds. The Blues control the face-off, get it back, and their first instinct is to obviously shoot the puck. And you see the record when they score the first goal. Oshie gets it, quick little shot, and I saw Derek Roy in front of the net. I thought it went off Roy's stick from a Plaza Tire service replay. Derek Roy on the backhand gets that to go between the arm and the side of the body of Jean-Sébastien Giguère, and in the net. Good start for Derek Roy, who had 3 unbelievable scoring chances in their last game against Mike Smith in Phoenix.
So it was Derek Roy and not Backes. It will be Roy's 5th of the year and first goal in 6 games. And the Blues grab a 1-0 lead as they have now scored first in 9 consecutive games. Here's Cody McLeod. Worked over in the corner by Cole. Blues get it back. And taking over back of the goal is Sobotka, who drew that penalty. Well, they announced the goal scorer as Steen, so I'm really confused. I thought it was Backes, and then the replay showed Roy, and now they announced Steen.
Well, they're off by just a little bit. It's definitely going to be Derek Roy.
I didn't see Steen in the area. Avalanche up the middle, McKinnon to Landeskog, a shot, and that was blocked at the Blues defense. And now McKinnon, the first overall pick, back on the line. Andre Benoit gets it back in the Blues goal, left the air, up for Roy. And he turns off the check of Paul Stastny. And it's Blues back on the goal. Either way, the Blues lead it on the power play goal at 1:54.
That'll be the second power play goal of the year for Derek Roy and 5th of the season.
And now it's offside for the Avalanche.
Take a look now at our Dobbs starting goaltenders. And you see Jean-Sébastien Giguère undefeated so far this year. A brilliant start. And he goes up against Yaroslav Halak. Only 19 shots against in the last game against Phoenix. Nothing worse than being on home ice and having to watch the other goaltender put on an absolute exhibition as Mike Smith did. And there is Giguère, the veteran, and he's a tremendous student of the game. And he's got his old goaltending coach back with him, Francois Allaire.
Giguère is 5-0. He's allowed 5 goals in those 5 games. And has a couple of shutouts this year. Now Steen in front of shot, and that was partially blocked, and then it trickles in and covered by Giguère, and then we get some pushing in front.
Yeah, Nate Gannon, the veteran defenseman, 30-year-old, just trying to shove Steen out of the way. Let's go back to the goal that was scored here and take a look. So we'll freeze it here if we can for a second here. And the key is Derek Roy. He's going to slide right over here after he wins the face-off. Keep your eye on 12. Gets himself in a position. Good hockey sense shown here. He's going to go to his backhand, stick on the ice, and a perfect redirection. Good hands there by Derek Roy after he wins the face-off.
And now that we saw that second replay, that wide look, there's no chance Steen got that goal. He was on the right side.
He was, faded way over to the right. He was there as an option for a one-timer if it ever got there.
Avalanche in their last game lost in Carolina on Tuesday 2-1. And now we get a whistle. The Avalanche 14-3 this year, their best start ever. The Blues at 11-2-3.
Now there's a look at the Colorado Avalanche bench. Anytime you start a game, you're on the road, you go to the penalty box and give up one right off the hop. It certainly does unsettle things, Bernie, on the bench. So I would imagine Patrick Waugh and the Avalanche will try to push the pace here now.
Well, the pace has been pretty good, Banger. I mean, this is a good hockey club, the Avalanche. Man, are they ever fast. They've got great speed, and the forwards are just willing to take it to the net. So the Blues are going to have to be really careful and get the forecheck going themselves.
And a drive by Stastny right on a pad save there by Halak. Hitchcock called the Avalanche the best rush attack team in the NHL. Now Benoit, number 61, Andre Benoit. Into McKinnon, and that shot went wide by the 18-year-old. And it's angled back on the goal. Benoit pinches in. And now Shattenkirk, who spent part of 1 year with the Avalanche, he gets it to Jackman up the wing now for Berglund. And that pass hit a stick and caroms into the Avalanche zone.
And the one thing to watch with Nathan McKinnon, number 29, their first overall pick, is the amount of times he puts pucks at the net. Just in the last game alone, he had 9 shots, 7 in the second period alone.
Now it's to the line, but it gets between the point men, and the Blues have to go back now. 4:45 gone first period. Blues lead 1-0. On the goal by Roy from Oshie and Pietrangelo. And Brendan Morrow tries to hunt it down against Nate Gannon. Penalty coming up here, and this one is against the Blues. And it's on Morrow.
Funny developing play, wasn't it?
St. Louis 10, 2 minutes for roughing.
A roughing call. So Morrow ends up here. Rick Poe, I guess his left arm, he's came back up and just gets holding right there. So he's trying to protect the puck, and he's doing a great job of it with one hand on the stick and battling, holding for position, but that elbow gets right in the schnoz.
Avalanche power play just over 19%. That is 13th best of the NHL. Blues have killed 12 of the last 13 against. And up to 15th in the league. Avalanche get the puck in there. Stastny, we grew up here in St. Louis. Now for McKinnon. And now they get set up. Here's McKinnon for Stastny. Now Lona Landeskog, their captain. In the slot, McKinnon tips it on to Stastny. One-timer, they score! McKinnon, a rocket! And it found its way through Halak, and it's 1-1.
That's a small area of the ice that they got the puck back to McKinnon. He was the first outlet. as Brendan Morrow now goes to the bench for a change. Power play goal for Patrick Waugh's squad, but McKinnon was the first outlet. He punched it right back, right here. Quick play by 29 White, and he's waiting in a small area, and barely the stick of the tip of the blade of Bouwmeester. Keep your eye on 19 in the blue, Bouwmeester. The stick right there, just barely out of the reach, and Jaroslav Halak is deep in the net, not on top of the crease there, and it funnels right between the legs.
So the first overall pick, Nathan McKinnon, gets his first goal in 5 games, third of the year. And the clubs have now traded power play goals. And Jan Hayda passed to center ice. That's tipped into the blue zone. And Halak shovels it ahead now for Derek Roy. So Roy for the Blues and McKinnon for the Avalanche. Stastny and Benoit get the assist on that goal. Comes to center ice. Thrown back in there. Turning now is Ian Cole. And Cole to center ice. Ryan Reeves gets a piece of that one. And Jaguar puts it on the glass. It gets by Reeves. And worked to center ice by Parenteau. Down at his off wing. Now for Duchesne back of the goal. And David Backes back there overskates it. Duchesne has it again. Turning. And now a shot. And Halak made a rather awkward looking save, but he has it in the glove. It's 1-1 early in the first.
Well, there's the both power play goal scorers, Derek Roy and Nathan McKinnon on the right. And when we look at McKinnon's goal here, there's a couple of things I want to point out. If we can stop it here real quick. Jaroslav Halak is focused on him, and he's focused on him right here. Eric Johnson on the right, and Landeskog on the left. So he got deep in the net. Now the play develops, and it's going to be a quick shot. So this point here, he's probably thinking it's going to be punched down low. He's got almost the heels on the goal line, maybe a foot above the goal line, and in the blue paint. And he saw that shot all the way. It would be one that he'll be frustrated with. And it's also one, guys, that when you talk about the goaltending reduction, those are ones that are finding their way through goaltenders now, right between the legs like that.
Yeah, the pad's just a bit shorter.
Yep. Opens the, as Yarrow said, the general managers, they wanted the smaller equipment, and then we give up these goals. It doesn't work all the way around. He's right.
And Pollock, who had that game-tying goal the other night, gets it in deep. Jaguar puts it on the glass. And now McGinn for John Mitchell, number 7. And that's turned away by Morrow. And then Sobotka flies into the wing. Vladimir Sobotka fires one, and a save by Jaguar on the short side.
Great pass by Stewart, right on the tape.
And now it's Sobotka again. In front, turns, backhander, and Jaguar made that save. Had no idea where it was. He's lost his goal stick.
No idea.
And the puck fired away, and he'll get his stick back. What an icing call.
What a play by Sobotka. Tremendous play in the offensive zone, and the goaltender Jaguar is swimming around and ended up awkwardly on top of the crease. The battle in the corner, the strength of Sobotka goes one way. Nope, going to go the other way. And by this point here, you can see that the goaltender has no idea where it is. Our Plaza Tire Service replay shows it, and the puck squirts over to his left, loose.
Tell you what, that almost got between the legs. Avalanche win the faceoff, worked around by Holden. And there is a pinching Jay Bouwmeester in this 1-1 game. Now in front, a shot. And Jaguar made that save with his shoulder. And then in front, Bouwmeester fans on it. Set up beautifully in front by Ocean. And now McGinn throws it across the ice. And picked up by Backes. And Backes tied up by Mitchell, who punches one back into the blue zone. Shots now 5-4 in favor of the Blues. Here's Pietrangelo for Steen. Lost it at center ice. Comes back to Bouwmeester. And now for the captain, and Backes draws it deep in the zone, and he goes off on a line change. And Hayden now for former Blue Eric Johnson, who's having a great year for the Avalanche at +10 with 7 points. And that's chipped in by Landeskog. And turning is Shattenkirk. Jackman had it roll on him. The puck in front, look out. And Halak made a good save on McKinnon, who almost had his second tonight. Now back for Johnson. And then down low to Stastny. Tough angle, a shot by Landeskog, blocked at the defense, but kept in by Hayda. And now Stastny again. Funnels it back on the goal for McKinnon. And McKinnon gets away from his man. Stastny wrapped up by Jackman in front. And Shattenkirk in the right spot. Now on the far side for Schwartz. Oh, he gave it away. Bit of a blind pass there by Schwartz. Landeskog with it. Back on the line. Saric again. Saric gets a return feed. And a rip shot blocked in front by the skate, I believe, of Jackman. And the Blues throw it high, and that's offside at the line.
Gives us an opportunity here as the Avalanche are swarming the Blues in the blue zone for our Toyota keys to the game. Toyota, let's go places. You've got to have tight gap closure. You have to have the confidence knowing there's backside pressure to eliminate the speed of a team like Colorado. And obviously sticks in lanes to break up plays. You've got to be alert, and that's exactly how McKinnon ended up scoring that first goal. Just right through the seam. Boy, they're quick on the puck, aren't they? Looks like the Blues are a little bit impatient in their own zone.
And off the face-off, a shot by Benoit. That was wide, and Halak reacted like he never saw the shot. And now Benoit gets it again. All the way across for Klish. Marc-Andre Klish. Number 24 back on the other point. Saric a drive, and that was off his stick to the corner. And then Klish was hit hard by Reeves. Now Klish again. Sends it back to the Blues goal. Halak puts it up the wing. And now some pressure from Colorado. Polak tries the right wing side. And again it's kept in by Benoit. Avalanche after it. Bordeleau to the line. That comes to center ice. And then Derek Roy gets it back for St. Louis. Roy into Lapierre. And he pulls up now trying to make a play. Down low for Stewart, who was tripped up a bit. Stewart gets back on his skates trying to feed one to the line. Instead he goes low, and it's grabbed by Morrow. Morrow to the front. And Sobotka had it knocked away by Benoit. Parenteau over there. And he flies one to the Blues line. St. Louis right back in there. Here comes Stewart. And then Sobotka has to be careful there. Almost wraps up Nick Holden. Now on a turnover, it's Morrow. He walks in front. Brendan Morrow wide open. A shot. And a save. Rebound. And Jaguar sprawls. He's got it under his body. Oh, Morrow came so close there. As he waltzed in front, was he wide open?
His wife Kelly launched a brand new charity that we're excited to talk about. A lot of celebrities on hand to take in the event at Mandarin in the Central West End. It was a great event for a number of people throughout the city of St. Louis. And joining us now is the captain's wife, Kelly Backus. Talk about Athletes for Animals. How did this come about? Whose idea was this?
You know what? I think that David and I just wanted to kind of continue our work in the animal welfare world. And I think that there is a really big message that can be portrayed when you've got these big, strong athletes showing how compassionate they are towards animals. And we wanted to team up with other athletes and kind of further that message.
Well, it was a great event. Congratulations and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, back to you upstairs, John.
All right, Andy, thank you. And congratulations to David and Kelly for a great job of originating that charity, and best of luck. They do a lot of work.
They do. They absolutely do. Athletesforanimals.org. Log on there, check it out, and see what you can do to help out. Another guy, Alexander Steen, always is doing some great work with dog rescue as well.
Shots are 6-6. The score 1-1. Now the Blues in front. Stolen Oshie and an injured player as he hit that Avalanche player, Jan Hejda, and he goes down.
Jan Hejda is a big boy, the 35-year-old from the Czech Republic. Been around a while and is really forging out a terrific career late. Played a little bit with Vladdy Sobotka in the World Championships in the past. Told me today he doesn't know Roman Polak all that well. They haven't crossed paths, but because of he and Sobotka in Prague together. And here's that. Just trying to go shoulder to shoulder. Both players are bracing for the impact, but you can see the right skate of Hejda. He does a little flare out there on Bernie. That's a dangerous situation, but nothing because of what Oshie did or didn't do.
No, and I think he mostly got winded. I think you said the wind knocked at him. It looks like just the way he's coming off, it looks like he's going to be okay. It doesn't look like he's even going down the hall as of yet. He's just going to sit on the bench.
And now the Blues win the faceoff. Jackman across for Shattenkirk. And he'll funnel one to the corner. And then picked up by Steen. His pass. Gloved down by Shattenkirk. And now worked away by Stasby. And he wanders to center ice. 8:25 to go first period. Shattenkirk to Jackman. And then moved along to Steen. And then moved in there by Oshie. Here's Oshie, chased from behind by Landeskog. And then Oshie ran into the referee. The referee went down, and Oshie keeps on going. And then Shattenkirk a shot, and just missing tipping that was Alexander Steen. And then Backus battles on the far side. Gets some support there from Jackman. Backus still with it. Long wrist shot. Hit a leg. Maybe off Landeskog. And then it's Tarasenko coming in but can't get it. And Stastny back to center ice. Drop pass. Now he gets a return feed to the front and tip just wide. What a chance there for McKinnon.
A little bit of a lost coverage for a split second, and that's how quick McKinnon darts to the net like that.
And now the Blues get the puck in there deep, stolen by Schwartz. Now back to one. It's Pietrangelo, a shot. Hit a leg in front off an Avalanche player, and Cody McLeod back to center ice. And then tipped in by Bordeleau. Dropped off, and then a shot from the boards, and a right pad save there by Jaro Halak. That was on Klish. And now the Blues working all the way down the ice. And the former Calgary Flames Saric. Center ice. Tipped in deep by Bordeleau. Halak plays it. And then for Cole, off Berglund's stick, grabbed by Tarasenko.
That's a good play there by Jaro Halak. Seems simple enough, but he wasn't that effective in the last game. He caused a little confusion handling the puck. Went over some video on that in the off day yesterday.
And now Holden. He lost the puck. And Lapierre trying to jump by Nick Holden. And the puck shot around the boards for Parenteau. And the Avalanche to center right to the speedy Duchesne. He cuts in on Pietrangelo, who did a good defensive job on Duchesne. Now in front. Oh, locked it over, man. Great save on O'Reilly, who was wide open in front.
What a pass that was. And Riley did get that up. That's a terrific play by Halak.
And now it's Pietrangelo. Sends a skipper to the zone. And then Benoit ahead to Saric. And at the Blues line. Avalanche are onside, but now it's worked away by Ryan Reeves, and no icing here.
Good defensive play there on Duchesne by Bouwmeester. I think Bouwmeester caught Duchesne by surprise. Knocked him from behind a little bit.
Now stolen by Oshie. Here's Steen in front of shot, and that was blocked by Saric after the Avalanche copped it up. And that's what these Blues want to do tonight. They want to get in and pressure that Colorado defense. Shattenkirk quickly on to Steen. And then to center ice for Oshie. Mitchell knocked it away from him, back for Johnson. And then McGinn, but there's another miss play by the Avs. And it's Oshie there to get it for the Blues. Oshie sends one all the way around. Steen corrals it off the wall. And then Sobotka back to Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk walks the line and drives, tip just wide. I think by Steen. And then Oshie in this 1-1 game. Shots 8-7 Colorado, broken up by the Avs. And a long pass too far for McGinn, and that's an icing call against Colorado. Well, the undefeated Missouri women's volleyball team takes on number 5 ranked Florida this weekend. Catch the match tomorrow at 6 on Fox Sports Midwest.
What a shift by the Steen line. It all started with a real good pass dump play by TJ Oshie all the way around, knowing that Steen was going to get it. And after that, boy, there's some glorious scoring chances.
And now Sobotka, the face-off leader in the NHL, wins it. Pietrangelo wanders back to the goal, along with Chris Stewart. Here's Stewart away from Jan Hayda, who's back. Now Stewart to the front. Morrow turned the wrong way. And the former Dallas captain can't get a shot. It trickles to center ice. And then dumped in by McGinn. Here's Alex Pietrangelo back to center ice. And then Stewart has some room up the middle. Stewart trying to go all the way through the defense, can't. And then followed up by Bouwmeester. At the line, Morrow. Here's Morrow. Thought about shooting. Now to Pietrangelo. And he moves in. And is forced wide back of the goal. Now out high and drive. That was wide by Bouwmeester. And Stewart turns, puts it right through the goal crease. And then it's knocked away from Bouwmeester and back into the blue zone. Here's Pietrangelo. He's chased back to the goal by Landeskog. Up the wing now for Berglund. And then back in deep.
A couple of opportunities there. Just didn't pull the trigger on a couple of them right there. Looked like Brendan Moore was going to one-time that, and he decided to fire it over to the right where Pietrangelo was. Not on a strong side, but be a right-hand shot.
And then Pietrangelo didn't shoot the puck. So Blues bit reluctant to shoot. Now it is Berglund. Wide open at the line, Ian Cole. And that drive was wide off a body in front. Now it comes around to Berglund. Good reverse hit there on Jan Hayda. And then Tarasenko. He can't get to the slot area. And Marc-Andre Clich back the other way. Blues break it up, and now it's Ian Cole, who's +2 in each of the, or in the last 2 games, +1 in each of those games. And Cole goes after it. And they're against Gannon. Oshie in there to step in front of a Colorado player, but now he loses it. And O'Reilly, here's another bad pass by the Avalanche. They've been a bit careless here in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and the Blues showing great hand-eye coordination there, led by Oshie, knocking that one out of midair.
And now tipped to center ice and into the Avalanche zone by Oshie. And then fired back to center. Pietrangelo quickly across. In this 1-1 game, slung in by Backes. And then worked back to the goal by Benoit. There's Backes again for Oshie. Here's Oshie away from his man, trying to center one, blocked by Holden. And the puck off the boards. There's that chip and chase play that the Avalanche like so well. And the Blues beat him to the puck.
I mean, Steen's a heck of a skater himself, but that Duchesne was flying right by you, Bernie. Man, he can hop.
And now Steen in the wing, a shot up high. Jaguar has it, I think, in the arm area. Did we get a whistle? 2:27 left in the first, 1-1. It is 1-1 here late in the first period. Blues and Avalanche. And there's Avalanche legend, the Hall of Famer Patrick Watt, coached the last 8 years with Quebec in the Quebec Junior League, won a Memorial Cup in 06. So even though he's a rookie NHL coach, Garen, he has a lot of coaching experience.
Yeah, he really does. And a 3-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner, inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2006.
He's the only NHL player ever to win the Conn Smythe 3 times. And now it's Shattenkirk. He gets it for Sobotka in front. Sobotka turns, and a good save there by Jaguar. Now it's Morrow from the slot. Boy, this line's had a ton of chances.
They are humming.
Here's Sobotka again, trying to fight off the John Mitchell check. And then Sobotka makes a good play. And now we get a whistle, and Sobotka is down. I thought he was boarded, and they called the penalty when the Blues had the puck.
And he doesn't go down and stay down. Man, this guy pound for pound is as tough as they get in the NHL. And it's hard to knock him off. And here's Mitchell, gives him a cross-check first, another cross-check again, and another one again. And that'd be your money's worth right there. 3 cross-checks for the price of 1. Good job by Sobotka to stick with it, hang on to the puck, take the hit to make a play. And now Patty Waugh's third-ranked penalty kill will be tested again.
During that power play goal by the Blues was the first against the Avalanche this year on the road. They had killed all 20 until that goal. And now the Blues 1 for 1 tonight.
That's a good point, John.
That's why I made it. And it's broken up by the Avalanche. And now to center ice for former Penguin Max Talbot. Here's Talbot one-on-one. Can't get around Steen. And now the Blues on the power play. Steen and Pietrangelo back on the points. Up front, back is Roy. And Oshie. And Steen hunts it down. And now the Blues try to get set up, but they can't. And that's tossed away by Saric. And all the way into the Blues zone.
That's a lot of skating and reaching and trying to get the puck for Alexander Steen. A frustrated one as he goes to the bench and just slams that door shut.
Now dumped in Morrow after it along with Tarasenko. Puck shot around Bouwmeester with his long reach. And he can't hold it in. Cody McLeod fires it down the ice. And now under a minute to go in the first period in a 1-1 game. Shattenkirk into the zone. Tarasenko. And 2 Avs around him, and again they break it up. Blues getting a little bit too individual here.
Totally agree with you, John. And not enough support on the puck. It can't be one and done trying to battle 2 guys when you've got the man advantage. Should be 2 men around the puck at all times.
And here's Bouwmeester. Puts one in there. Jan Hayda back defensively for the Avalanche. Puck knocked away with a high stick, I believe.
Well, in the first part of the power play, the first unit with Alexander Steen, he went all the way around the ice. Now they're outmanned, not enough support, and this is it for that line there. And you can see how frustrated Steen was as he goes to the bench.
And now the top unit back on the ice with 32 to go in the power play as Roy wins the faceoff. Back for Pietrangelo. On for Oshie. And Oshie a drive. That was off a body in front. And then Oshie again to Pietrangelo. Verstein a shot, and that hit the outside of the goal. Comes down in the corner. 3 Blues after it, but they, I believe, knocked it down with a high stick and then moved the faceoff all the way down.
Well, identical to the goal that was scored by Derek Roy on the redirection. Roy wins the faceoff. Back to Pietrangelo. The exact same setup, going back to the left side. The right-hand shot, Oshie, and he just fires it looking for the redirection. Got it, but it went wide.
You know, he's got that lane across to where Steen is, too. All the way on the far side. That's something to look for, too, especially after scoring a goal that way. They can certainly look across through the seam.
Yeah, the old fake shot there, Bernie.
Yeah, absolutely, Johnny.
Well, the Blues quickly late in the period on the power play. Here's Pietrangelo in front. Backhander goes wide. Comes in front again, and that will do it as the period comes to an end.
Boy, a lot of zone time for the Blues. A lot of creativity. After that first push by the Colorado Avalanche, Yaroslav Halak made some good saves. And Derek Roy has got his 5th of the year.
Answered by McKinnon. Shots 10-8 for the Blues. Let's go to Pat Paris.
John Kelly, thank you very much. Of course, coming up next here in the first intermission will be the SAPOD GM Country Intermission Report. We'll have our high school hockey player of the week. We'll also have Bernie Federko join me to break down the first period, and also we'll get the on thin ice report from the guys out in LA from Fox Sports 1. Blues taking over the play there in that first period, but 2 early power play goals has us all knotted at 1 after 20 minutes of play. SAPOD GM Country Intermission Report is next.
And a beautiful night here in St. Louis outside Scott Trade Center. Inside it's 1-1 Blues and Avalanche, and we are right below section 320 in our broadcast booth. John Kelly, Darren Pang back with you. Well, the Blues felt that if they could get the puck behind the Avs defense and pressure them, they would create some turnovers. I think they did a pretty good job in that period, Darren.
I totally agree with you. Once the Blues got it in the offensive zone, you know, Colorado really struggled with a couple of puck decisions and just trying to compete down low beyond the goal line, and that's a big part of the game. I thought the Blues did a phenomenal job of dominating the board play, but coming out from behind the net, quality scoring chance from Vladimir Sobotka. There's the defenseman, Jay Bouwmeester. He gets a good scoring chance there, and then they continue on with a pass to Bouwmeester again from Oshie. Then Morrow steps out again. Don't these look eerily similar from the goal line? Again, once again, great save with the blocker there by Giguère. Plenty of pressure from both the defensemen, like Bouwmeester, and the forward, Sobotka, with the best scoring chances.
How about Sobotka? He had 3 shots and was perfect in the face-off circle in the opening period, winning all 5 face-offs. Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. A brief power play for the Blues here to begin the second period. 2 seconds left in Mitchell's minor. Blues had 1 shot on that power play. Now 1 for 2. And the Avalanche dump it in. And Pietrangelo there. Trying to get away from the forecheck. Max Talbot, the former Penguin. And now it's brought along by Sobotka. Deals it across for Bouwmeester. That pass hit a skate and caroms all the way back in the blue zone. And now Pietrangelo with plenty of time and lots of room here. That's center ice. Morrow gets a piece of that. Good to see him back after missing 5 games with the upper body injury. And now the Avalanche to center ice, and John Mitchell. And he'll chip one back of the goal. Jackman there under some pressure, makes the good play for Morrow, who doesn't make a good play though up the middle, and it's kept in there.
He was looking for Chris Stewart there, and there wasn't the angle of it wasn't very good.
And now it is Landeskog again. Their captain. That was blocked and then played off the glass by Shattenkirk. And then Sobotka steps up on Erik Johnson. And now moved along by Sobotka, who is bothered a bit by Landeskog. The puck around now for Stastny. And he gets it to center ice. There's Bouwmeester to rifle it right back in. And then Berglund lets it go for Tarasenko. Down low to Berglund. Trying to spin off his check. Now Berglund back to Bouwmeester. Can't get a shot through. Instead of pass to Tarasenko. Now for Jaden Schwartz. He bumped with John Hayda. And then Schwartz again on the cycle for Berglund. He tried to play one to the front. That was blocked by Johnson. Hayda over there. Blues get it back. Good job by Tarasenko. A shot. And that was blocked. Pinballs around in the slot. Comes to Schwartz. Good shift by the Schwartz line. He goes down but gets right up on his skates. Now Tarasenko in front. That shot. And a save by Jaguar.
Schwartz making a nice play on the far side. And again, the offense is being derived from board battles.
There comes Oshie now. Cut to the middle. Oh, left it. Steen was there, but Oshie really should have shot that.
Oh, it was right in the wheelhouse.
And now David Backes. Back on the line to Polak. Polak a shot. Partially blocked. Filters through to Oshie. And then for Steen. Steen to the line for Ian Cole. He's got a heavy shot. Steen in front. Tips one wide. Penalty coming up here against Colorado. And now David Backes to the corner. That's touched by an Avalanche player, and they'll be short.
It's a holding call, a very, very long shift. Erik Johnson was out there for an extended period of time. He and Jan Hayda. And it is Erik Johnson going off. He doesn't even know that he's getting called off here, but here's the play by Schwartz. What a backhand pass there to Tarasenko. Not sure if that got through it or it was blocked by Hayda. Oshie makes a tremendous cutback move. Oop. Drop pass there, just off the mark. And Nathan MacKinnon breaks up that play before Erik Johnson heads to the box for holding.
And that was a good look at that replay there, Panger, that Jaguar did not have any idea where that puck was. I mean, Oshie should have certainly shot that. Anywhere to the sides of either side of the net, it's going to be in.
Yep. Now the Blues win the faceoff 1 for 2 tonight. Here's Roy in front. They score! David Backes, a power play goal. The Blues take a 2-1 lead.
On a quick strike offense on the power play as Johnson goes to the bench after the minor penalty. And it is again eerily similar to the first goal, except the centerman Steen here. And on the left half boards is Derek Roy. The fake shot, pass, deflection, thanks for coming. And the old 9 of hearts given to the Colorado Avalanche there. What a play by Oshie. There's Backes, and it's an easy backdoor empty netter. Backes wants that puck. It's got to stick out to the side. Just a real smart, common sense play there by Oshie and Derek Roy.
What a pass by Oshie. And Backes buries it. And the Blues lead it 2-1. And Backes gets his first goal in 10 games. 7th of the year.
4th power play goal of the year for the big captain, David Backes, who has been solid. So we see the face-off win there. Now stop it here. Here's your man again we're looking at. So you walk the line there, and you bring it right back to where you just came from. And then in front of that are 2 players with their sticks on the ice, and that's the key. So the play by Oshie actually goes off the defenseman's stick in a gratuitous bounce right over there to the captain.
That is Backes' 4th goal in the last 7 games against the Avalanche. And the Blues lead 2-1. So the Avs, who had not allowed a road power play goal this year, have now given up 2 tonight. And Darren, both have been off faceoffs, and we have seen a lot of that. Blues power play goals off faceoff wins. And Parenteau after it.
At least 10.
And the rebound came in front and just wide of the goal.
That was Duchesne. I don't know how if that hit something or not, but he hit a wide open net.
Yes, he did. And now O'Reilly. And then for Duchesne. And then O'Reilly. Comes in front. Pinballs around. And a diving play there by the Blues and Schwartz. And it comes to center. And now it is Pietrangelo. Tipped along by Berglund. And then shoveled in deep. Of course, O'Reilly was a holdout last year. Apparently last year after a game in St. Louis there, and he went to McGurk's and Soulard and was singing to McGurk's, and apparently is a real good singer, is Ryan O'Reilly. Didn't know that.
Went over to McGurk's and sang it to him, did he?
That's what I heard from Lucky the bartender. My spies.
Bernie, you know when Lucky the bartender's giving you scoops. You got some good info, good intel around here.
That's very, very good. And it's just one of many bars that I'm sure he's got intel from.
Thanks, Bernie.
And there goes John Kelly under the bus.
Blues lead 2-1 here. They win the draw, and a shot right on by Cole. Where is it? It's loose in front. And now to the corner, Lapierre and Roy. In front for Ryan Reeves. And the Avalanche take over. McLeod smacks it down the ice. And this will be an icing call against the Avalanche.
Good chance down low, and Ryan Reeves makes it happen too by moving his feet. Here's the first shot. Good face-off win by Derek Roy, who's had a strong game, and a good shot there by Cole. He's got a heavy shot. We watch it every day in practice. He can let her fly, and that one gets through to the net and makes it difficult for Giguère.
Blues win another face-off. They won 67% in the first period. And now the Avalanche with it. Corey Sarich came over in the Alex Tege trade. In on the wing, the McLeod a shot, and a save by Halak, who gets a bit of a snow shower from Patrick Bordeleau.
Oh, I like the fact that Roman Polak, with his great lateral movement for a big guy, he doesn't allow this entry easily. You're going to keep your eye on the left side of your screen. McLeod's going to get the puck. That's the defenseman there, and bang! Right away. Goes right over to McLeod after that puck was released. Don't make it easy on him. Hammer him. And he does. Great play there by Roman Polak, who scored an outstanding goal in the last game against Phoenix.
And off the face-off in the blue zone. It is picked up by Landeskog, 20-year-old captain of the Avalanche. And now for McKinnon. And he stops and starts in the corner on Sobotka. Now McKinnon to the front. That was blocked. McKinnon has scored for the Avalanche. Roy and Backus for the Blues. And now Stastny off the board. Backhander by McKinnon. Scooped up by Halak. And we get a whistle.
Nathan McKinnon can stick handle in a phone booth on Bernie. Give you 5 cents change.
I mean, it's amazing that he's only 18 years old, Banger. I think that's the most amazing thing.
Yeah. There was no question from Patrick Waugh's point of view who he would have liked to have in the draft, and they went after him. And it was nothing against Seth Jones or Barkov, but it was all about the experience of Patrick Waugh coaching against Nathan McKinnon for a couple of years in the QHL.
Yeah, you know, Banger, I was at the Memorial Cup, and he was by far the best player on the ice every night.
Yeah, he's a special one.
Here comes Chris Stewart, the former Av. Trying to get the puck down low for Morrow. That was broken up. And now Stastny to the line for Gennett. Dropped off. Landeskog a shot. Hit a leg in front. And goes right on the stick of Morrow.
I think that might have hit Stastny in front of the net.
And now it's played right back in there. Landeskog gets it back to the goal. Shipped around by Shattenkirk. Here's Stewart. And then hooked to center ice by Morrow. And they battle for it. The shots in the game, 13-10 for the Blues. They lead 2-1. First of 4 meetings this year between these clubs. In front. Oh, McGinn tipped it just wide. As he got behind the defense. Now McGinn again. And too hot to handle for Jan Hejda.
That was off the mark only by a couple of yards.
That's how Eric Johnson comes right back. Here's Johnson. Slap pass in front for Talbot. And now worked back to the goal. And recovered by T.J. Oshie. He takes a hit. Puck off the wall. And Steen gets it for Oshie. And he is draped all over by Talbot.
Boy, McGinn was searching. McGinn was searching, trying to get his shoulder into Oshie, and just missed him.
And now Steen to the line. And that's offside. Backus or Oshie. Offside. Coming up on the other side of this break, we'll hear from veteran coach Ken Hitchcock right after this.
Looks like there's a lot of neutral zone play. It's either one end or the other, whoever needs to forecheck.
Both teams are putting a lot of pressure on each other. We're not handling it well, and neither are they. So we'll see by the end of the game.
You said the power play was going to be important, and so far it has been.
Well, it's been our savior. We're not playing great 5-on-5. We're going to have to get a lot better in our own end.
Thanks, Hitch.
Well, the coach does not mince words.
No.
And both clubs, as Bernie said and Hitch reiterated, have been a bit sloppy in their own ends.
And there's the 5-on-5 goals, 4 goals against differential there with the Avalanche slightly ahead. But this has been a special teams battle with all 3 goals coming on the power play. At 5-on-5, the Blues have dominated the opposition, out-shooting them by 72 shots.
Here comes Steen trying to Throw one down low now. Backus for Oshie. In behind the cage. Oshie and Backus work it down low. Benoit trying to get it back for the Avalanche. Here's Backus. Muscles in front now to Steen. He scores! Alexander Steen is 15th of the year.
What a shot. Holy jumping. He just snapped this off the heel of his stick. Past the stick side of Giguère. And a 3-1 lead. The first goal of the game scored at even strength. Doesn't take much for Steen. Doesn't take much. All the grunt work down low. A turnover by the Avalanche, Ryan O'Reilly. And he puts it right on the tape to Steen. Keep your eye on that play there by, not only does Riley play the puck to Steen, then he screens the goalie. Steen finds an opening, his left-hand shot on the short side. What a shot for his 15th.
His league-leading 15th goal of the year, and that's the first time this season Giguère has allowed more than 2 goals in a game. And I believe timeout has been called here, and there's an update. Steen now with 15, 1 ahead of Ovechkin and Stamkos.
And on this play here, you can see where Steen is, in the quiet areas of the ice. I mean, he's waiting for Oshie as Varlamov goes into the net. Giguère is done for the night. But you can see where he ends up as we watch it right here. So there he is. He's waiting because all the battle's down below. And it's just the puck just gets squirted out by Riley right on the tape. And that's just a smooth, silky shot. And now the Russian will be in the net. 4-1, 0-1 record against the Blues. This wasn't Giguère's fault, that's for sure.
Blues goal is league leading. So it's 3-1. The goal by Steen from Backus and Oshie. And Patrick Roy, the Hall of Fame goalie, makes the goalie change, and Varlamov takes over for Giguère. Here is Ian Cole for the Blues. And Darren, even though he didn't really have much of a chance on that goal, you mentioned to me off the air in the first period that Giguère seemed to be fumbling a little bit the puck in that first period. Maybe it wasn't his night.
Yeah, I mean, there are some times where you see if he's not in full control with rebounds and loose pucks, that it causes a little uncertainty. But let's face it, the Avalanche have not been very good in their own zone. And the Blues have really taken advantage of that. We showed some clips of, from the bottom of the circles to behind the net, and the Blues have been dominant. The Avs have had no answer in that area of the ice.
Now, it didn't seem that Giguère was really ready for that. Even though it was a turnover, he didn't really step out towards the challenge Steen's shot at all. Not that he was going to save it, but...
Yeah. And definitely Ryan O'Reilly definitely screened him there, too.
Absolutely.
And right in the... Almost like what happened in the last game with the Blues against Phoenix, where the Petrangelo, a couple of screens there on the goalie.
Yeah, and it's a bang-bang play there, too.
That goal, Steen from Backus and Oshie. Now the Avalanche on the attack. Jan Hayda drops it back. Here's Erik Johnson, fakes it, hands it on to McKinnon. And then for Stastny. Hard pass back to Hayda. And then Hayda in front, tipped away by the Blues. Good job by Shattenkirk. And now Jackman off the glass. Not out. Now Jackman again on a second try. Does clear it away. And a change for the Berglund line. Here's Johnson to center. Tipped in there by Mitchell. Jackman the first man back. And around it comes now to Brendan Morrow, who gets it back to center ice. Fourth game of a 5-game road trip for the Blues. They have Carolina here on Saturday. Tonight they're leading 3-1. Midway through the second. Shattenkirk ahead to Stewart. And that is gobbled up by Jamie McGinn, the former Shark. Sobotka almost stole a puck there. Now it comes back to Cole. Stick handles away from McGinn. And now Cole gets the feet moving. In for Sobotka. And a wrist shot. That was wide of Varlamov, who was in goal the other night in that 2-1 loss in Carolina.
And good read by Sobotka to back up Ian Cole that led the rush there.
Now the Avalanche commit Benoit trying to center when that was blocked in defensive play. And Sobotka the other way now for Stewart. Here's Stewart one-on-one against Erik Johnson. Of course, traded for each other a few years ago. Now Stewart's lost the stick. And Benoit, number 61, heads to the far side. And then Brendan Morrow. Blues almost too many men there. Bit of a jam up over near the boards, and the puck came into some skates there. Benoit feeds one up the middle. Moved along by O'Reilly. To Duchesne, a drive. That was blocked by a Blues player. Goes to the far side. And now recovered by Steen. What a play away from Parenteau. And Alexander Steen. Long shot from the wing by Backes. Handled by Varlamov. And now Oshie for Bouwmeester's shot. And that got through with a big screen in front. Steen was screening Varlamov, who's lost his goal stick. Puck comes in front. And now Parenteau rolls one up the right wing side. Tipped down the ice by Johnson. That's going to be an icing call against the Avalanche.
That's a terrific shift there by Alexander Steen. He'll go for a change. The Avs players on the ice can't change, and they're out of gas. But what a play by Steen in his own zone. Here we go. Oh, thanks for coming. And Parenteau went the other way. And there he goes in a straight line. Steen gains his zone, drops it, goes to the middle, waits for a puck to come back for him, and then he goes to the net.
A quick shot by Roy off the face-off. Or maybe Duchesne won it. I don't know.
Duchesne won that cleanly on the backhand.
Yeah, 2 cleanly on his net. By the way, Oshie with 3 assists. His first ever 3-assist game for TJ Oshie.
I'll tell you, just quietly having a great game is, again, Jay Bouwmeester going up against Duchesne. He's closing gaps, stick on puck, doing a phenomenal job, as he did in the game against Pittsburgh and Sidney Crosby.
Now Marc-Andre Clich gets the puck to center ice. In a race, Jackman beats McLeod to it with 8:20 left in the second period. Now for Shattenkirk. And then Ryan Reeves at the line. That's offside. A couple of goals in the second for Backes and Steen. And the Blues with a 3-1 lead.
In the Twitter world, it's hashtag Throwback Thursday. And for David Backes, he's involved on Twitter. Does a great job, as we mentioned before, with his wife Kelly. And here's what he says here on Throwback Thursday. Who has better hair in middle school, my wife or I?
My vote is for Kelly.
To Kelly for sure. I'm not sure about that middle part that the captain has going on right there, but he must have got a free tie and a pair of shoes with that haircut. And a bowl of soup. Huh, Bernie?
I don't make any comment on hair.
And maybe you shouldn't either, Mr. Peng.
I'm allowed to because I don't have any.
That's a good point. So 3-1 here for the Blues.
Before the end of the game, I'm going to get on my Twitter account at Panger40 and throw in a one with me with hair.
Here's Tarasenko. Shot by Tarasenko. The Blues lead it 4-1.
Great play by Berglund. He was fighting it off, and that big Swede that's 6'4", 220 pounds, he bought a lane for 200 right there. And look at this quick release by Tarasenko under the bar and in. What a beauty. There's not much room up there, and he finds it. Goaltender Semyon Varlamov with that new goaltending coach, Francois Allaire. He's worked awfully hard on getting that glove in a better position. There it drops, and Tarasenko makes him pay.
And his first goal in 9 games last week against Calgary. Gets another one tonight, now with 6 on the year. The Blues lead it 4-1. A pinpoint shot by Tarasenko after a great forecheck by Berglund.
Not much of an angle there for a left-hand shot, huh, Bernie?
You know what? That's the hardest shot, really, across your body like that. But that was just under the bar. Perfect shot.
Now Vladdy Tarasenko. Sobotka, rather, fights off a check, gets the puck to the front, and then moved back the other way by Jamie McGinn. Here's McGinn to Mitchell. Mitchell in front, a shot, tipped on goal, and a save by Halak, and then they crash and bang in front of Halak.
That's the way to protect the net from the Blues. Grab all the bodies in the white sweaters, grab them and get them out of there. There's Brendan Morrow. In the offensive zone, Morrow went to make a turn. He and Cole crashed right into him. And then the Avalanche and Talbot went the other way. Great job by Brendan Morrow. Those are some of the subtle things that reek of great hockey sense. Get back in your own zone, grab a body in front, and get them the heck out of the way.
And Morrow is going to the penalty box. We'll see if he goes alone. By the way, a special shout-out to Blues fan Jim Turek, who's recovering from surgery earlier today and is home watching tonight. So, Jim, best wishes and a speedy recovery to you. And hopefully the Blues can get a win for you tonight.
Max Talbot is also going off, although he went to the bench there, but the referee, Chris Rooney, was waiting for him to come on back. So both guys in the box. They've only got the 2 minutes for Brendan Morrow on the board. Oh, there it is. Max Talbot's 2 minutes also on the board. So we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey.
Blues leading 4-1 that last goal. Tarasenko from Berglund at 12:09. Here comes Bouwmeester as we go 4-on-4 here. Into the corner, Steen fights off a check to the front. Backes tipped it just wide. What a play there by Steen. Now Backes for Bouwmeester. He walks in, tough angle, centers it, and no one was there. Got behind the goaltender and Hayda. And now we get a penalty called here as the Blues are buzzing that Colorado goal again.
Are they ever? Great confidence in the offensive zone. I think this has been the Blues' most impressive performance in the offensive zone and handling the puck and having sustained pressure, making plays for one another. Bouwmeester jumping up in the play right there. He really had no choice. He couldn't shoot the first one because there was no angle. Wonderful play there by Backes finding Bouwmeester. Now Bouwmeester here, he just ran out of real estate. There's nothing to shoot at. Give Varlamov plenty of credit.
And now a 4-on-3 power play as Duchesne goes off at 13-18. Blues working around. They have 2 power play goals tonight. In front, Backes, back for Oshie with 3 assists on the evening. Here's Oshie, delays. Now for Steen. Here's Steen, goes for a skate, now hands it to Oshie. In, and his little wrist shot was blocked by Hayda.
Varlamov was giving Backes a poke behind there, and Backes went down hard.
Duchesne gone for hooking here. And it comes around to Pietrangelo on this 4-on-3. Little slap pass for Oshie, back to Pietrangelo. Steen's wide open. Steen gets it, a drive, and that was wide. Hit something on the way through. And then Backes back on the goal now for Oshie. Here's Oshie in front. Steen, the drive, and he pounded that wide of the goal.
Oh,
he got a lot on it.
Did he ever? Stepped right into it.
And now Pietrangelo again. Deep slot. That's tipped high off the glass. Recovered by Steen. Avalanche player Mitchell lost his stick. Pietrangelo shot. Right on goal. A save by Varlamov and no rebound.
What a battle in front between Jan Hayda and David Backes. That's a big man's battle right there. 2 big boys jockeying for position. Some good scoring chances, although the Blues got a little stagnant there on the situation, but this was the best of the bunch there. With Steen going around and undetected. Now he steps into it. This shot here by Pietrangelo with Backes in front of the net, and he and Hayda again battling it out there.
Blues 2 for 3 tonight. 25 to go in the 4-on-3. Blues win that face-off. Kevin Shattenkirk to Pietrangelo. Now they switch sides. Pietrangelo to Shattenkirk. It escapes.
Yep.
Now to the blade.
Now they're going to switch again.
And here's Shattenkirk. Fires it. Rebound. And they score! Burns his own club and another power play goal.
Third goal of the year and first power play goal for the former first rounder, the Colorado Avalanche. And this will make it a 5-1 hockey game here. Good shot from the point. Rebound there. And Stewart puts himself in a good position. Gets that right hand on the shaft of his stick and just taps it in with the backhander. Corey Sarge, the defenseman, is there. The little separation. Stewart gets out of the way and grabs hold of that rebound.
His 3rd goal in his last 7 games. And he always scores against his former club. And Darren, those are the kind of goals he's got to score. Get to the net and use those hands.
That's exactly right. His career against Colorado is impressive. This is his 10th game, and he scored 5 goals against the Avalanche.
So the Blues, another power play goal. Now 3 on the night, and lead it 5-1. Here's O'Reilly there front. That was too hot to handle by Talbot. And the Blues come back to center. Teams are back at full strength. Here comes Jaden Schwartz. And then intended for Morrow. Now Schwartz has it again. Off the boards, but the Avalanche break it up. Now Talbot comes in. Backhand cut inside on Pollock. And punched away by the Blues. Berglund. That goal by Stewart from Shattenkirk and Roy. So Derek Roy with a goal and 2 assists. Here's Lapierre now for St. Louis. Tipped in there by Reeves. And Roy trying to get there in the corner. Someone pounds Nick Holden, number 2. Now Holden gets it. And played off the near boards to center ice.
Big Ryan Reeves there finishing his check.
And now things are bottled up near the Blues line with 4 minutes left in the second period. As the Blues have erupted for 4 goals here. Shattenkirk rolls one to the corner. Now Reeves back in the goal. In there with Holden. Puck comes free. And now Roy. 2 Avalanche players around him. And now it's played down the ice. And they indicate icing here against the Avalanche.
And that enables us this opportunity for some high-speed shots brought to you by our friends at Charter. And there's that first goal there on the redirection. Another goal by David Backes on the nice play by Oshie. Rebound attempt there. Power play goal. Chris Stewart.
Kind of the same theme, isn't it?
Isn't it?
all from right, really almost in the paint, all 3 goals.
Yeah, the work down low, below the hash marks, and below the goal line, Bernie, it has been a big man's game for the Blues, and they've done a remarkable job.
Yeah, that's been the whole key, I think, to this game has been the work behind the net and the corners, and it's whoever wants the puck more, and the Blues are winning that battle.
Second half this year, the Blues have had 4 goals in the second. They did that against Florida in the second game. Ian Cole went heavily into the boards, back in the Blues zone, and now we get some pushing, and now Stewart drops the mitts with Corey Sarich. And Stewart has landed some rights, and he pounds away on Sarich. Now some uppercuts, and Sarich goes down and takes a beating from Stewart. Stewart, and the fans love it.
Well, the special teams have erupted for Ken Hitchcock and the St. Louis Blues, dominating 5-1. Here's the hit here. A clean hit, Bordeleau on Cole after Jaro Halak left that puck a little slow for Cole, and boy, did he take the brunt of it. Here's the reason why this fight took place. Sarich steps up there on Stewart. He got left knee on right knee. You can tell that Stewart takes exception to it right away, and that's the reason why he dropped the mitts with the veteran Corey Sarich.
Well, the hit by Bordeleau on Cole was clean, and it had nothing to do with that fight between Stewart and Sarich.
Nope, just because he felt that it was a dirty hit with his leg.
And Stewart gets the extra minor, so the Avalanche in the power play for the second time. They're 1 for 1.
And there's big Bordeleau there, and he's hurting. He looks like he clearly lost his wind after that hit. Maybe not expecting how big and solid Ian Cole is. Cole looks no worse for wear there after that one. That's a tough play there. Your goaltender leaves the puck. You touch it and you release it, and then bang, you just get hammered.
So Stewart's extra minor was for unsportsmanlike conduct.
For this waving for the crowd.
Not trying to get the crowd going. Now it is O'Reilly on this Avalanche power play. Stu McGinn, back of the goal, Vladdy Sobotka. Nice little tip pass for Pietrangelo, and down the ice it goes. And now we have another fight. That is Sobotka and Duchesne. And Sobotka lands some big-time rights. Wow.
Well, this is that middleweight, that light middleweight class right there. And these fans love Sobe. They just love the little guy with gumption. He and Duchesne go at it. They both got a couple, but boy, did Sobotka get the last one on the offensive-minded Matt Duchesne. Battle behind the net. There, bang, hit. Duchesne takes exception to it, and right away the gloves are off. Mitts are off, buckets are off, and there they go. But the helmets came off at the same time they start scrapping, and the linesmen get in there immediately. Sobotka, pound for pound, is there a tougher guy in the NHL than Vladdy Sobotka? If there is a...
I don't know if Duchesne knew going in how tough he was. He knows now.
Duchesne was very lucky that he didn't land on his head there with his helmet off there. That was a scary moment there when that helmet comes off.
Yeah, and he's lucky that one punch, Bernie, didn't hit him in the nose.
Yeah, it hit him on top of the head, Johnny, yeah.
So fighting Majors, and it remains 5-on-4 for this Colorado power play. With 2.5 to go in the period. And the Blues leading 5-1. Here comes Paul Stastny. Involved there with Jackman. And now Backus gets it back of the goal for Roman Polak. And with plenty of time and room, he puts it off the boards and down the ice. And Andre Benoit, the 29-year-old, signed as a free agent. Avalanche have 3 defensemen that basically have been in the minors the last couple of years on this newly constructed back line, and the Blues have taken advantage of that at times tonight with some fierce forechecking.
Well, you talk about communication here. Steen snaps his stick on the faceoff, darts to the bench, and Joel Farnsworth, the guy we call Bear, I mean, what a phenomenal job getting that twig right away. These guys are sharp, aren't they? Sharper than a tack on that bench there. It just happened, drops his stick, and it's already ready for him. Good work.
Good job, Joel.
That's a University of Vermont baseball star right there.
Good friends with Marty St. Louis.
That's right.
Is Joel.
Yeah. Bernie, were you ready for that if stick was there by you?
I can't move that fast.
And a shot by Stastny wide. And now back for Erik Johnson. On the outside again to Stastny. Here's Parenteau trying to slide one in front. Oh, play rebounded. Bang play and a save by Halak. And now the Avs get it down low. Parenteau to the line, intended for Johnson. 10 to go in the power play. On the half boards for Stastny. Parenteau again. Kilter's one in front. Now McKinnon turning around. McKinnon a shot. And that was blocked by Bouwmeester. Blues get Reeves back. He was serving the minor, but they can't clear it. Avalanche, one shot of the power play, now 1 for 2. And it goes to Pietrangelo with a minute to go in the period. And at center ice. Gannon shoots it in there. Here's McGinn, tough angle, and a save. That was probably going wide anyhow, but Yarrow makes the glove save, and we get a whistle.
Enjoy great happy hour pricing at all 9 Hot Shot Sports Bar.
Well, if you're looking for the perfect gift for a Blues fan this year, don't pass up the chance to get a Blues holiday pack. This pack includes 5 great games along with a Blues scarf for every 2 packs purchased. Visit stlouisblues.com/holiday packs for more details.
There's a little Blues fan there.
45 to go in the period. Here's McGinn, a shot, and that's, I think, off the arm of Halak.
Yeah, I like the way Halak challenged.
Hit by Oshie. As he came together on the far side with McGinn, and the Avalanche player took the worst of that.
Yeah, McGinn tried to initiate that contact with Oshie, but Oshie's got such great balance, and he is one of the more discreet reverse hitters in the league. You always have to be prepared for a hit and brace yourself here. And you see Oshie, bang, right into McGinn, who goes in awkwardly.
Yeah, he was the instigator on the hit and took the worst. He went to the locker room. Darren, don't forget, a year ago, these clubs had some bad blood in Denver when Mark Olver hit Tarasenko and knocked him out for about a month with a concussion. Now, Wall wasn't there at the time, but you never know. The bad blood could carry over from year to year.
And we'll see Big Bordeleau is back on the ice. He and Patrick Waugh, his head coach, were having a little conversation on
Here we go. Reeves drops him and gets a couple of rights on McLeod. And McLeod loses the helmet. He's a pretty tough guy, but Reeves pounding away on McLeod, and the linesman trying to intercede. Reeves won't let up, and now they finally pry them apart.
Bordeleau was the one that wanted Reeves, it looked like, but McLeod was faced off on the same side, and McLeod's a tough cookie in his own, but boy, no match there for Reeves. Holy jumping.
Well, I guess the Avalanche are in the Blues division now, aren't they? This is going to become a heck of a division rival, guys, I think.
You got it. And that was right beside you, and McLeod just raced over there to Reeves. And I know Bordeleau looked like he went over and said something to Reeves at the end, but Reeves had McLeod. And McLeod wanted Reeves. And did Reeves ever respond in a big way? Man, this place is hopping now at Scottrade.
Well, things have heated up here in the second period. And they're on their feet at Scottrade. 32 seconds left in the period. Blues leading 5-1 out shooting the Avalanche 2013. We had 3 fights in a row here in this second. Here's Parenteau. Now O'Reilly back on the goal. And O'Reilly feeds the point. And McKinnon. Now McKinnon, who has scored the Avalanche goal, comes to the front, and it wasn't covered by Halak, and now it's played by Pietrangelo up on the far side for Lapierre. And that's going to do it. Period comes to an end. What a second here in St. Louis.
4 unanswered goals. A 1-1 game turned into a 5-1 rout in the second period. And 2 on the power play.
A wild second period, wouldn't you say, Pat Paris?
Absolutely, John Kelly. A strong performance by the Blues in the second period. They take over 4 unanswered goals. Now the 5-1 lead after 40 minutes of play here at Scottrade against the red-hot Colorado Avalanche. The Blues certainly the better of this period and the game so far. Coming up, the Jack in the Box intermission report. We'll have a player interview. Also, we'll look at the Ford highlights with Bernie Federko and our dirt sheet shot of the game. What a period for the Blues. 4 unanswered goals. Stay with us on Fox Sports Midwest.
Well, the jerseys could be flying off the shelves tonight. The Blues are red hot with a 4-goal second period, now leading the Avalanche 5-1. And Darren, the offense really exploded, I think, because a couple of reasons: the physicality and the forecheck of the Blues in that second period.
And there's no doubt, as TJ Oshie told us after the second period, the conversation was obviously intense after the first period, led by Hitchcock. The players get in there as well. That's the way it works. And boy, did the Blues ever respond in that second period. But the power play is everything. I mean, you start the game off 154 into it. Clean face-off win, execution perfect. Shot by Oshie perfectly on the tape to Derek Roy, and a nifty little backhander. That makes it a 1-0 game. Face-off win again. This time by Alexander Steen. And he ends up starting it off. And then another tic-tac-toe play, and David Backes scores the go-ahead goal to make it 2-1. That would be the game winner if the game ended right now. And then you've got Stewart's power play goal, net front presence, easy backhander there for Stewart. He'll take it. That made it 5-1. And for Patty Waugh and the Colorado Avalanche in October, brilliant. Only 16 goals allowed in 11 games. In November now, they've given up 19 as Ziggy is back in the net after being pulled in this second period.
He had allowed 3 goals on 14 shots and was replaced by Varlamov, but he is back in goal. And of course, Giguère, entering the game tonight, had allowed 5 goals in 5 games with a perfect 5-0. Avalanche get it back to Erik Johnson, a drive, and that's right on. And a save by Halak.
Well, we haven't seen that often with Colorado working the puck down low and punting it back to the point position. We know that Johnson can fire the puck. That one right there was right in the midsection. So a good save by the goaltender, Jaro Halak, and no rebound, which is the key.
And no one around with the front of the net for a deflection at all. That was he saw that all the way. No one moving to the front of the net at all for the Avalanche.
And the Blues win a defensive zone faceoff. The Blues have won 63% of the draws tonight. Now Shattenkirk, the former Av, in for Tarasenko. He had the Blues' 4th goal. And now played to center ice by Nate Gedden. Tipped all the way down. And Halak sets the table there for Jackman. And that goes to center ice. Tarasenko, nice drop pass. And then moved along by Schwartz. And a long shot handled by Giguère. He bobbles it a bit, but then holds on. Each November, the Boy Scouts collect more than 2 million donated food items during its Scouting for Food campaign. You can help fight hunger in the community this Saturday by bringing canned food or other non-perishable food items to the Blues game. Collection bins will be available at the gate before Saturday's game against Carolina.
Get involved. Chip in. Huh?
Another great cause.
Absolutely.
Trying to help the less fortunate.
You know, with that scrap late in the second between Stewart and Corey Sarge, I don't believe that Sarge in the penalty box. So he might be in the locker room for some repairs.
I was wondering if McGinn would return after that heavy hit by Oshie, but McGinn was out earlier. As the Avalanche played up the middle, that's knocked down by Garrick Roy. He played very well tonight with Lapierre and now Morrow, as Reeves was serving a penalty here. And the Blues get the puck in. Morrow delays. Now Morrow, the shot, and a pad save by Jaguar. And the puck up the board. And there's Morrow again, now to Roy. He deals it to Lapierre. Into Pollock. Pollock right in a shot at Jaguar. A heavy shot by Pollock. And what a save there by Jaguar.
Yeah, but Max Lapierre continues to impress, making smart plays. He waits, buys some time, waits for Pollock to jump in there, and Roman got a lot on that.
And now Steen set up by Backus. Can't pull the trigger. Steen wide open. Here's Pietrangelo. Lets it fly. That was off Oshie. And it carries to the corner. And then O'Reilly puts it high. Not high over the head of Steen. And the puck pinballs in front. And a long backhand by Jackman. They score! Steen gets the rebound and a weird goal. And it's 6-1. Steen's 16th.
Well, you rarely saw Patrick Law bobble pucks like that one. Jaguar thought he has it in the big leather mitt, and he doesn't. Bounces right off, lies in front. Steen's got his second goal. And a little backhander by Backus. He's just trying to dump that in. But Steen with the presence of mind to drive hard to the net. Yikes. Boy, Jaguar just pushed that. Has no idea where it is.
His third two-goal game this year. And the Blues lead it 6-1. A goal that Jaguar would certainly like to have back. Now Landeskog dumps it in. In front. What a save there by Halak on McGinn. His best save tonight for Jaro Halak.
That is brilliant. What a great push with his right skate blade and pushing over to his left like that. And McGinn just absolutely gets robbed there. Just gets robbed. This is where you have to have good edge work. Keep your eye on the right skate. Push across. He loads, gets across, and just smothers this sucker right here. Bang! Great save.
The goal by Steen from Backus at Oshie at 2:11. So Oshie with 4 assists.
Wow. What a night.
A career high.
And I was right. Grandma Oshie is watching this game in Washington.
I would think she's very happy with her grandson. Why wouldn't she be? What a night for TJ. 4 assists and a big hit. And we're not done yet. Here's Jackman back for the Blues. Avalanche get it to McGinn. Snaps a shot off a stick high into the netting.
And Grandma Oshie's got the bobblehead doll sitting there on the mantle. Two of Ocean. One of me. Bernie, that doesn't seem right, does it?
Well, you know what? She probably will go to 3-1 now. 3-1.
Here's Sobotka on the faceoff against John Mitchell. And the faceoff leader, Sobotka, wins it. Leads the Blues, leads the entire league over 67% on the year. Here's Jaguar. Up for Andre Benoit. And the 29-year-old to center ice now for Talbot. Squeezed off by Pollock. And now Roman Pollock goes for skate back of the Blues goal. And then for Backus. Ian Cole to center ice. Tipped along by Oshie. He runs over Hayda. Oshie still after it back of the goal. Now Benoit for Mitchell. And then Berglund comes in. And Berglund trying to make a play down low. Pietrangelo races in for the right point. He gets it back of the goal. Now Pietrangelo picks it up. To his partner, Bouwmeester, a shot. Blocked. Here's Steen. And a backhander for the hat trick and a save by Jaguar.
And he got a whack right there on the left wrist as he's protecting the puck and going to the backhand. And he didn't like that one there. Steen has got a very good backhander, but Bernie, he looks like he's in a little bit of pain there.
Yeah, he's got a little scowl on his face, and he's kind of looking down at his back of his glove, but it did get whacked, and he hopefully is not going to be having anything serious wrong with him as he heads to the bench.
Yeah, he's going to the locker room.
That was Max Talbot with the stick. A little slash on the hands.
Yeah, he's getting a real short cup on the gloves, and that's where your wrist is always at risk.
Not like those 9-foot cups that you guys wore.
That's the truth. And we changed those too. I gassed those after a year or two, went to the short ones too, which is not safe, but it's a lot easier to stick handle.
Amazing that Gretzky never changed, huh? That he kept those long cuffs his entire career.
Yeah, it really is amazing. That just shows what kind of hands he had, though. The best of all time.
Imagine how many points he'd have if he had shorter cuffs.
Here comes Duchesne. He flies in, and he scores! Matt Duchesne with a brilliant goal, his 12th of the year.
Boy, did he make that look easy. I mean, this is the Matt Duchesne that we talked about in our open, with that speed through the middle of the ice and that fearless tenacity. But he rolls this with very little velocity on it. There is the breakout through the middle. Oh, what a nifty play beyond Bouwmeester. But this is just a little saucer shot. The goaltender, Jaroslav Halak, is now sliding towards his left. A left-hand shot, that leaves the top blocker exposed, much like a right-hander going high glove. That's a great shot.
But he protected the puck, too, with his body. I mean, Bouwmeester trying to get back at him, and he was able to just protect the puck.
And now we have Stewart and Bordeleau lined up. And the referee, I think, has seen enough, and he'll give a misconduct to Bordeleau.
Landeskog, the captain's going to go over to the referee, Rooney. Rooney's just diffusing what you know is going to happen.
So he'll get 10. By the way, Oshie, we mentioned those 4 assists. That is a career high in points. There's a career high in assists for TJ Oshie. As the Avalanche come in offside, that last goal by Duchesne at 4:36. His team leading 12th of the year. Came in 4th in the NHL in goals scored, did Duchesne.
Stuart Landeskog, after Bordeleau was sent to the box, then Landeskog lined up alongside Stewart. And the young captain of the Avalanche having a conversation with Stewart. Then Stewart went over and hit Eric Johnson with a clean hit.
And now McLeod lines up against Stewart.
And you know what's going on here. Remember, after Stewart's fight with Corey Sarich, remember he put the arms up and was waving, trying to get in the crowd going. He got an extra 2-minute misconduct penalty for that.
And probably didn't make a lot of friends on the Colorado bench as they drop the puck here. Avalanche dump it in, glove by Halak. Now for Jackman. And then picked up by Vladdy Sobotka.
Oh, what a pass.
To Shattenkirk, back to Sobotka. He's around Eric Johnson, in on goal, and he lost the puck in the last second. Now back to Shattenkirk, a shot, and that was well off the mark. And now back to Jackman again. Down the boards, Morrow gets away from McKinnon. Morrow trying to center one, blocked by Eric Johnson. And now recovered by the Blues. Stewart and McLeod fight for it. Puck grabbed by McKinnon, who had the Avs' first goal. Now in front, Stastny trying to cut around Jackman, and Jackman may have gotten the leg over there, and a penalty called, and now we get some more nastiness on the near side.
Yeah, they want a piece of Sobotka after that fight there with Duchesne in that second period. The referee that was closest to the action was not making the call. The referee in the neutral zone did make the call. Sobotka's stick is on the ice, and he's going to be the player that goes off for the trip. You see where his stick position is here. Yeah, he definitely whacks the left skate there of Paul Stastny, knocking him down in a scoring area. It's the right call.
So a trip to Sobotka. And the Avs will go to the power play for the 3rd time. Their last goal by Duchesne from Gannon and O'Reilly at 4:36. And good to see Steen back on the ice after taking that slash near the hand. And the referee, Chris Rooney, having words with both coaches. And explaining the lay of the land for the last 14:29. Avalanche win the faceoff, 1 for 2 on the evening. Now Duchesne back of the goal. Here's McGinn. And now Parenteau plays one back of the cage. And Duchesne again. Now O'Reilly with it for Colorado. Duchesne back for O'Reilly. And then to Duchesne in front. And again, what a pass through his legs. And Halak got over. What a pass by Duchesne. And now Pietrangelo tripped up in the corner. Here's Duchesne back of the line. Holden with it. A drive and a save there by Halak. Holden in his first NHL goal the other night against Washington. Now Parenteau. Feeds O'Reilly. And then to Holden again. And then Duchesne in the circle. A little toe drag move. In front. A shot. Hit the goal post. And the Blues get it back.
What a quick play again. We're seeing the world-class play there of Matt Duchesne. Phenomenal hands in tight. Doesn't have a real long stick. Gets hunched over close to the ice. And just some brilliant hand-eye coordination.
That kid hit the goal post. Now the Avs come in. 45 to go in the power play. Broken up there by Lapierre. And the Blues get it in deep. So that goal post was hit by Jamie McGinn. It keeps it at 6-2. Landeskog cruises in for the Avalanche. For Stastny, drop pass. And that was read well by Lapierre. And he drives it all the way down the ice.
Trying to fire one of Jaguar's glove. Testing him again. After he fumbled on that one by Backus, led to the goal by Steen.
Well, Landeskog, youngest captain in the NHL, at 20. And he'll cruise back of the Blues goal. Here's McKinnon, soft backhander. Halak sets it up, and the Blues back to center ice with Berglund, and that'll do it. Blues are back at full strength. Avalanche had 2 shots in that power play as Berglund breaks his stick. And now it's grabbed by Nathan McKinnon. For Benoit. And he steers it around the inboards. Talbot there to pick it up. And he was run off the puck by Backus. It goes to Kevin Shattenkirk. Now a long feed on the tape. But Steen, he comes in. And he can't drag it around Hayda, who did a good job. And Talbot gets a long feed to center ice. Talbot broken up at the Blues line. Steen tips it by Hayda.
Another good hit there by Hayda on Steen.
And now it goes back to the Blues line in Tarasenko. For Steen. Return feed. Tarasenko cruises in. And Hayda smacked that away after he got around him. Now Tarasenko again. Trying to feed one to the front. That was blocked. And the Avalanche get the puck back to center ice. Pietrangelo on Tarasenko. He comes in with speed. Tarasenko drops it. Bouwmeester shoots. He scores! Bouwmeester into the top corners. First of the year. It's 7-2.
Nice little drop pass by Tarasenko as he gained the zone. And with that, Bouwmeester rifles one right over the glove of Giguère. And Patrick Roy can now only look at the Jumbotron replay to see Bouwmeester's first goal of the year. A slippery little wrist shot here. No backside pressure from Colorado. Easy entry by the Blues. And just a classic old wrist shot right there.
His first of the year, had 1 goal last year in 14 games with the Blues. And Bouwmeester gets his first goal in 23 games going back to last year. As the Avalanche have now allowed a season-high 7 goals. Here's Berglund stripping O'Reilly. And we get a whistle and a penalty, I believe, on the Blues. A hooking minor on Berglund. So Bouwmeester gets in on the act with a pinpoint shot to make it 7-2.
It's all tied at 4. Guys, back to you.
And you look at the Central Division, the Avalanche with 28 points, tied with Chicago. Minnesota win last night. And amazingly, the Blues in 4th. Yet they've had 2 regulation losses, but again have games in hand on everybody. Avalanche on the power play as Berglund has gone for hooking at 8:55. Avalanche get it back to Erik Johnson. And his pass hit a stick, goes to Bouwmeester. And Bouwmeester, who scored that last goal from Tarasenko and Pietrangelo, can't work it down the ice. Landeskog right back in front. and that's knocked away by Pietrangelo.
Just that innocent-looking play, and it's knocked down with some great hand-eye coordination. Play goes the other way.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit too tricky instead of dumping it down the ice.
7-2, throw it down the ice.
Yes. And now Lapierre kicks the puck ahead. Nice play to Sabotka, and that goes down the ice.
That's the coach Federico that ran the inline hockey team right there. Huh? Very simple statement there, Bernie.
Avalanche 1 for 3 tonight. Here's Parenteau into McKinnon. First overall pick this year. Parenteau again. And across for Benoit now for Landeskog. And he sets it up. In front. Diving play by Pollock to break it up. And Jaden Schwartz off the boards to himself. And he comes in short-handed. And Schwartz wires a shot wide on the glove side. Quickly the Avalanche back to center ice. Here's Benoit. Drop pass. Jamie McGinn a drive and a save by Halak as he went down on the butterfly.
Well, time now after that easy save for our Chamberlain save of the game. And this one right here on the doorstep on the power play. And good play there by Halak. What a play by Duchesne. Grabbing that puck, getting it between his legs, feeding it over to McGinn. He's falling down on his knees. And that's our Chamberlain save of the game, and why wouldn't it be?
Avalanche win the faceoff, and Benoit rang the goalpost with a howitzer.
What a one-timer.
Andre Benoit. And the puck covered by Yaroslav Halak.
Oh, what a blast. What a great signing from the Avalanche. Unrestricted free agent, played well in the playoffs last year for Ottawa. And keep your eye on 61 after he takes the pass from Parenteau. Bang, right off the bar. Just a wicked one-timer. You had a good view of that, Bernie?
Yeah, right on the corner of the crossbar and the post.
Benoit got his chance last year when Erik Karlsson went down with that injured Achilles tendon. And then they just let him go, and the Avalanche signed him.
That's one of your, underappreciated, highly valued signings. Good puck mover, good shot.
As O'Reilly comes in. Blues are back at full strength. Now holding a shot and dropped by Halak. Rebound, they score. O'Reilly got the rebound after Halak just dropped the puck. Didn't try to do it, of course, but he dropped it. And O'Reilly makes it 7-3.
Yeah, the first shot of the game squirted off the glove of Yarrow, and it's been an area that he's been working hard at. But obviously, this is an easy play for Halak, and I don't have to tell you how disgusted he would be in this play here. He reaches out to his left. It's an easy play. He knows it. And because he doesn't have it, now everybody's scrambling, and Ryan O'Reilly gets an easy one right there.
His 7th of the year. And that makes it 7-3. Blues have scored 7 goals for the second time this year. They had 7 in that 7-0 win against the Panthers in the second game of the year. Ian Cole winds it around. That's cut off by John Mitchell. And was checked there by Sabotka. Cole gets to center and tipped along by Stewart. And the Avalanche throw it right back in. Cole, and he was upended a bit there. Mitchell comes up with it for the Avalanche. Nice pass to Hayda. Here's Hayda's shot. That was blocked at the Blues defense, I think, by Shattenkirk. And it comes around to Morrow.
Oh, what a play by Morrow with one hand on his stick, getting around John Mitchell, the former Maple Leaf.
On that goal, McGinn and Holden get the assists. On O'Reilly's 7th. Stastny at center ice. He gives it up. Blues get it back. Shattenkirk with 7:45 to go in the third. Carolina's here on Saturday, and the Blues go on the road for 3. Washington, Buffalo, and Boston. Turnover there. Ryan Reeves gobbles it up for the Blues. Here's Reeves. Trying to go around Benoit. Now Reeves gets through him. And the pass, I think, surprised Lapierre a bit. And it goes back down the ice.
Play all started when Nathan McKinnon kind of over stick handles, gains the zone, and too aggressively dumps it back, and it went all the way down the other way, and the Blues take advantage of that. It's one area that, talking to Patrick Waugh today, I mean, obviously you love everything about Nathan McKinnon. But he did mention something this morning, and we see it in this game. He does stick handle a lot, huh, Bernie?
Yeah. I think that's just kind of coming at a junior. I mean, he was so much further beyond everybody else and talent-wise that, what I think he's too much confidence with the puck that he likes to hang on to it too much sometimes.
Yeah, if he's one of the fastest players on the Avalanche, then imagine how fast he was in junior. Here comes O'Reilly in. O'Reilly. And a good save there by Halak as he tried to go short side.
Yara was in very good position right there.
Now they have center it. Here's Hayden tipping it back. And then fed all the way back of the goal by Nate Gennett. Parenteau, he goes for a skate out high. Parenteau feeds one through now for Duchesne. Trying to spin away from Backus. And Duchesne was upended, can't get to the front. And Jaden Schwartz, who played, of course, in Colorado College, gets it out.
I would hope you get upended if you challenge the crease in the net like that, right? Got to be bumped around there. That Duchesne is fearless, though, going to the net. Got to give him credit. John Kelly, here's our BMO Harris Bank check replay of the game. And big battles in the corner. And good forecheck there by the Blues. Obviously, Oshie and Backus do a lot of the grunt work there, and Steen would be the first one to recognize that. Remember, he got whacked, though, at the very beginning of that period. And it looks like he's got his glove off there on the bench. That's got to hurt. But a great game again by Alexander Steen with 2 goals.
Here's Tarasenko back. He leaves it for Ian Cole. Cole was upended on a hit by Mitchell. And now Jamie McGinn. Back on the line to Benoit. And a long high shot blocked by Cole. And he skates it right up the middle. 4-on-3 here. And a drive by Sobotka. And a glove save there by Jaguar on a high, hard drive by Vladdy Sobotka. Blues lead 7-3 here in the third.
The Crow hard hits of the night, and there have been plenty in this game. Mitchell got a minor on that one with Sobotka. Bordeleau just hammers Cole, and Bordeleau got the worst of that one there as he lost his wind. Big hit there. McGinn trying to initiate contact on TJ Oshie, but it's Timmy time there, and McGinn takes the worst of it.
And again, Oshie a career high 4 points tonight as the Blues lead 7-3. And Lapierre on the draw. Mitchell wins it. And the puck at the line. Derek Roy can't hold it in. And now Roy feeds it back to Pollock. And then Ryan Reeves trying to barge it on right wing. Now for Roy. Tight angle, a shot, and it's saved by Jaguar. And now Roy gets it again. Deep slot, fires it, tipped by Reeves, and that's wide. And now Lapierre there. Reeves sends it back on the goal. And Jaguar up the board, chipped high by Talbot. And that goes by Ian Cole, who tracks it down.
That's a good pitch there by Roman Pollock. Now Pollock and Ian Cole, they played well together. Obviously with Carlo Poliakovo returning to the Blues, and he will wear number 13 for the Blues. Keeping the score at home.
And he did skate this morning here at Scott Trade after getting the immigration paperwork taken care of.
Yeah, they let the Italian back into St. Louis.
Plenty of friends in St. Louis.
Poliakovo, Fedorkolo.
All kinds.
O'Reilly tips it in. And Cole plays one to center ice.
But the Hill is happy, huh?
Ian Cole in his third game. He's never played more than 9 in a row in the NHL. So this is a good chance for Ian Cole to show what he can do on a consistent basis with the long-term injury to Jordan Leopold.
And he's been real good tonight. I mean, he's moving his feet, and I think that's what Bradshaw always says. He's moving his feet, and, taking 2 or 3 steps and then passing the puck. He's doing a good job, and that's what he's done tonight.
Yep, he's made some real smart decisions with the puck and boxed out in front of the net.
Yep.
3:40 left here in the third period. And Paul Stastny. Go to Chaminade here in St. Louis. Now for Landeskog. And he waited too long, trying to dust it off. And the Blues break it up.
Good stick on puck there by Shattenkirk.
And Tarasenko right up the middle. And his shot, and his stick was lifted at the last second. And McKinnon back the other way. He'll drop one into the blue zone. And both clubs make changes on the fly. Pietrangelo for Sobotka. Into Backes, and that's just offside. Late in the third, the Blues on their way to their 12th win of the year. Well, the veteran coach has gotten the better of the rookie coach tonight as the Blues lead 7-3. John Kelly, Darren Pang back in the broadcast booth, and we talked in our open about the Blues' fourth line, so to speak. Lapierre, and again, they've been really good tonight, Darren.
Yeah, Ken Hitchcock made sure we said, you know what, we don't really have a fourth line going on right now. It depends on how the game's going, but you know, when you end up looking at Derek Roy's play, a goal and 2 helpers, and especially on the power play, but Lapierre's been solid in the game, and Ryan Reeves with a couple of big hits, and obviously a big scrap that he had with McLeod, and that really ignited that second period and 4 unanswered goals to run away with this one here.
By the way, Steen has gone back to the Blues locker room, so Sobotka's on this line with Backes and Oshie. And Sobotka back of the goal. He steps around Benoit with a nifty move, and now back for Pietrangelo. He walks the line of shots, and that was off a stick and wide. And then recovered by Oshie. Avalanche break it up. Comes to center, snap back in by Pietrangelo. And the Blues making a change here. Shots 29-24 for the Blues. Who lead 7-3. Blues have won their last 5 or 4. It'll be 5 after tonight against the Avalanche. Here comes Jan Hayda. Chased by Lapierre. Chipped in front. And that went by McLeod, and now back to center ice. And then ripped back in there by Erik Johnson. Locke sets it up now to the far side for Cole. And his pass out of the reach of Lapierre, and that goes all the way down. And an icing call. Get your big game 5-pack for SLU Billiken basketball. See 5 great Billiken games, including recent Final Four teams, VCU and Wichita State, for only $99. You can buy online at SLUBillikens.com or call 314-977-4SLU. Pat Paris calling some SLU games this year, doing a great job. The very versatile Pat Paris.
Oh, he's all world. He's award-winning Pat Paris.
Under 2 to play here in the third period. And the Blues control the face-off, now picked up by Roy, tripped up by McLeod, and the referees looked at that and said no. But that was a clear trip.
The old stick in the midsection trip. Sorry about that, Chief.
Chipped it off the glass and out of play. Don't worry, Maxwell, it's okay. 1:34 to go here. And speaking of Pat Paris and Mr. Versatility, the Missouri Lottery Blues Live Show comes up next. And Louis will be tuned into Pat Paris and Darren Pang and our coverage from
Louis
the Blues locker room.
Louis is going to go up to the Bud Light Zone, and don't forget our Hall of Famer Bernie Federko downstairs with interviews. We're going to bring it to the people tonight after this victory.
We'll hear from the coach, Ken Hitchcock, as well.
They just tossed Bordeleau, guys. He made another comment to the referee, and he's headed to the locker room.
Didn't take much, did it?
No, it didn't take anything. I think he said something politely, too.
By the way, with the win, Hitchcock will tie Jacques Lemaire for 9th all-time with 617 wins.
Well, for a guy that played 6 minutes and 22 seconds, he sure accumulated a lot of PIMs in this one.
And a long pass at the line. Mitchell there. Blues get it back in Sobotka. To Shattenkirk. And then for Schwartz. Tarasenko drops it back. 1 minute to go in the third period. And the Blues will have 12 wins in their first 17 games. What a start. That's the first time they've ever done that in their history. 12 victories in the first 17 games.
Outstanding start, and this is one of those games you get excited about because of the great play of Colorado to begin the year. We talk about home ice and the response that the Blues had against Pittsburgh here on home ice, allowing only 3 shots to Malkin and Crosby. This is some terrific play. And they played a great game against Phoenix. The season-high 39 shots. Only Mike Smith kept them from 2 points in that one.
In the final 15 seconds, the first of 4 between the Blues and Avalanche. Parenteau to center ice. Tipped by McLeod. And they'll count it down here. Stewart and McLeod having words at the buzzer here. And now Morrow comes over. And actually 2.6 left. And again, the Avalanche are not happy with Chris Stewart.
And McLeod not happy with veteran linesman Jay Shares. Shares has taken him off to the side, doing his job. But McLeod of the Colorado Avalanche embarrassed by the final score in this one. But they did have some fight, though. They didn't go away, huh, Bernie?
No. Now, you know what? This is a good hockey club. We said that right from the beginning. You know, the best winning percentage in the league coming into tonight, and they played hard. I mean, they had some bad moments in this game. The Blues really, I thought, dominated the boards, and they got the forecheck going, and they were able to score some goals. But I think this is a team that'll bounce back. They're a good team.
3 power play goals tonight for the Blues. And that will do it. As after the puck is dropped, Mitchell and Pollock have words. And you know, the linesmen and the referees will keep a close watch on both clubs.
This could very well develop into an outstanding rivalry.
In the new
And that makes it
Central
exciting. You got it. You got that right.
And the Blues will be in Denver in 2 weeks, the night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, that'll be a beauty. 12 wins in the first 17 games, a franchise record for Jaro Halak and the St. Louis Blues. What a start.
As the Blues outshoot the Avalanche 29-24, and led by Oshie's 4 assists, they win it 7-3.
Well, the players salute the crowd. They got their money's worth in this one. And it brings us to our Bud Light player of the game, TJ Oshie. Just under 16 minutes, 4 helpers in the game, established right off the hop by Derek Roy's 5th goal of the year on the power play, 1:54 into it. The Blues scored 2:49 into the second, 2:11 into the third, and Oshie had assists on all 3 of those goals.
Time for the 3 stars. With the honors, let's go downstairs to Tom Calhoun.
The Bud Light 3 stars of tonight's game. The game's 3rd star, scoring 1 goal and adding 2 assists. Playing it a forward for the Blues, number 12, Derek Roy. The game's 2nd star, scoring 2 goals in the game, playing it a forward, number 20, Alexander Steve. And the game's 1st star, recording 4 assists and playing it a forward for the Blues, number 74, TJ Oshie.
The 1st star, TJ, tell me how important this was to the game. I mean, this was a barometer game for you guys once again. It meant a lot for you guys to come and play against the number 1 team right now in the National Hockey League, Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, it was. We wanted to play a full 60 night. Unfortunately, we didn't get off to a very good start. I think Jaro bailed us out a couple times there. But after the first period, from then on, we were playing the way we want to play. So we got to stick with that. It was nice to get that one. I don't think they had their best night, so we can't expect that every time we play them.
Ken Hitchcock talked about how important the power play was going to be. You guys get 3 power play goals tonight. What was the difference with the power play tonight?
I think we were just shooting the puck a lot more. We were last game as well. We only had 1, though, I think. So tonight we were shooting the puck a lot, and it was opening up other things. Hats off to the guys that are drawing the penalties, moving their feet, working hard.
And for you, a career night. The first time you've had 4 assists in a game. Talk about your night a little bit.
I think it would have been 3. I got lucky, and that one hit my skate on the 4th one. But, just kind of right place, right time, working hard. Glad it paid off tonight.
Congratulations. Go get some rest.
Thanks a lot.
I take it, gloves. Oh,
The understated fan favorite of the St. Louis Blues, TJ Oshie, 4 assists in this one and the #1 star in a 7-3 Blues victory over the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche, of course, the talk of the NHL to start the season, but they are cooled off tonight here by the St. Louis Blues in that 7-3 victory. Back to wrap things up with the telecast. Again, the Blues scoring 4 in that second period to open up the lead and go on to win. Stay with us.